Hey guys, Ryan here, previous of commentary. Just get out there and finish this thing. So hey, it's gonna be the first set between Midas and JangBi, or JangBi, if you want to pronounce it correctly, on Daetoo in the round of 16 of the Hana Daetoo MSL 2010 spring season. So we're gonna have Midas at the lower right hand position at the 5 o'clock as the yellow Terran. We're gonna have JangBi at the upper left hand position in blue at the 11 o'clock. Protoss, of course. C and Midas are the two players that I'm probably the most excited to see in this in the round of 16. Just because it's so fun. Like, oh my God, these guys made it here. Dear God. Maybe BaBy too. Maybe BaBy as well. Maybe BaBy. I think that's things was a type of a pill, pregnancy pill that George Carlin coined. Yeah, type. Maybe BaBy, a pill that doesn't work all the time. Maybe BaBy. Hey. Yeah. Anyway, 0, 1, 2. So yeah, this is definitely the type of Midas. Definitely one of the players that I was uber excited to see. Oh man, I can't believe I laughed my ass off when he 2-0'd his group. I just laughed my ass off. It was so funny. Beat up Flash, straight up TBT, and then yeah, two rack early aggressive 2 racks to follow it up to just take the win home, and it was absolutely brilliant to watch, absolutely brilliant to see. It was just wow. And I was saying, it's a lot of distance between the two maps, so you 4-player map, I think it was, or was it Odd Eye? I don't remember. It was either Fighting Spirit. It was either Fighting Spirit or Odd Eye. I was like, yeah, you really wouldn't want to go 2 racks. It's not standard, and might be a little bit too much distance to carry. I don't know. Especially, I think it was Fighting Spirit. That's what I said. I was like, you have to scout out your opponent and and then he goes exactly that. He goes for 2 racks and wins. It was hilarious. So JangBi gonna go out there, gonna get the earliest scout. Midas Mule has not sent out a scout. I think he's actually thinking of doing that right now. Midas known for a long time as the guy who does not scout. She finally backed the probe with 2 ACVs. Dear God, I think he finally still just sending us on, and still not sending anyone else. Just trying to fight back the probe, trying to kill that thing. JangBi just slowly flying around or floating around with that probe, trying to keep it alive. But we're gonna see how Midas decides to stay. How long he decides to stay scoutless. Now, unfortunately for Midas, he got JangBi's one of the worst players he could get in the round of 16. Flash would be another guy, but at the same time, he beat Flash in a straight-up TVT. So I don't know. He showed some insane prowess in TVT. He's a very good TVZ player as well. He's apparently brought a lot of his good old stuff back. But his TVP at the moment is questionable. He is a guy that revolutionized certain TVP things back in the day, but it's something that was so old now that unfortunately not really. He's the guy that created. Midas is the one that well, I'm not sure if revolutionized is the right word, but he is the man that brought us the fake double. So at the time it was pretty effective. Brought a lot of. He kneeled a lot of Protoss back in the day, but now it's just not applicable anymore. It's not the type of thing. Probably going to be able to spot the command center coming up if nothing else, but I don't really think it's anything JangBi would not expect. But unfortunately for JangBi, Midas, I don't think he's finally should have sent out a CV scout at this point. Yeah, CV scout just now going to go inside the base, inside the main observatory into expansion. Going to be on the opposite side for JangBi. Midas a little bit ahead in expansion wise though. But also going to lose his CV, though, so not going to be able to get up that ramp and get the scout. Just unfortunate for him that he face off against JangBi, because JangBi's not at his best right now, but JangBi still is one of the best all-time Protoss versus Terran players. Who would I say are the best? I think JangBi, Stork, and Best are probably the best Protoss versus Terran players out there. JangBi and Stork especially. They have been more of the Samson Khan Terran duo, Protoss duo, more than the T1 Terran duo that have been more anti-Terran. Even though Best is a very, very strong versus Terran player, where Bisu's weakness was Terran, Best's weakness was Zerg. That is yet again going to try to get the scout inside, gonna spot the Nexus if nothing else. Probably going to know that there's going to be observers on the way out. probably knows what are the possibilities of what that could be followed up with. And we're gonna see what JangBi decides to follow this up. Gonna go for Citadel Ladoons. Might go for some might decide to go for some Dark Templar drops, but most likely just gonna rush to Arbiters. I'm expecting he's just gonna rush to Arbiters. Might just get out a sizable army force. We're gonna see what adds in more gateways right now to get a sort of an army force. Try to go out and put some pressure. Pick up a third, and as he picks up a third, then go for Arbiters. So by the time he starts pumping Arbiters, you have a third mining base going. Or of course, he just might go for 2 base Arbiters. We're gonna see it's more something that I see best go for. It's more one of the T1 Protosses go for best and Bisu. It's more their style. Additional factories now being added in by Midas. Just his second one so far. Only has 1 tank in there. I think he's just now getting his siege mode going. Not going out to do any sort of pressure. He's just thinking he's playing a more conservative, safe built Templar Archives on the way. So this could. I'm still not sure whether he's going to go for Shuttle and try to go for some sort of Dark Templar drops. Not altogether too sure, of course. If Midas is not going to be ready for it, could end the match right then and there. Midas is going to have a stronger economy, though. He's had the National Expo mine out there, up and mining and fully saturated for quite a bit longer. So JangBi is going to want to go out there and do some damage. Academy on the way now for Midas as well, so he's going to be able to get some concentration just in case there is some Dark Templar action coming out of him. At the very least, JangBi is getting a full spot on this. His observers all over his base. Just not adding in the second gateway very, very late after the fact of the tick. Well, that is that. Oh, Stargate. So he is going to be rushing to Arbiters. Might just be 2 base. We're going to see whether he actually tries to pick up a third as he does this just at exactly the same time. So it would be 2 base into 2 base Arbiter and try to get a third expansion. Well, he wants that expansion out there because Midas is going to be able to get in more factories. He's going to start pumping. Decent amount of forces as well. Vultures out there. Has siege already, so probably going to start mines and speed will go up there soon. We're going to see whether Midas try to go in there, tries to do some economic damage with that. More gateways we want to up there for our good friend JangBi Arbiter Tribune. So he's going to go for 2 base. It's not something I'm used to seeing from him that much. Yeah, when I look at JangBi, I think yes, I'm thinking. What are you thinking about? No, I'm not thinking. I'm just sinking in the sea. Anyway. Me and my magnificent jokes. I'm already up there, so Midas already working on the upgrades. Good. You want to try to be ahead in the upgrades against a Protoss player. You want to be ahead in upgrades against anybody, preferably, but Protoss players, it's important. Vulture's going to go out there. I'm wondering whether he has mines yet or not. So he didn't really want to go in, try to do some pressure and get forced back. Going to get a scan inside. Not sure if he spotted that Stargate with a scan. Might have spotted the Stargate with a scan, though. So DTs are going to be on the way as Midas started to expand towards the 4 o'clock position. That's going to get stopped. But he has scanned, so he's going to be able to go out there and clean that DT up. So yeah. JangBi not... Ew. Okay, just picking the SCV smartly, pulling back with the DT just the second he does so. Because he knows there's going to be vultures coming on top of him as he went for that. Probably just going to be mines outside that base now, so the DT goes in there and not going to be able to do anything. Both players are going to put up their expansions, their thirds. JangBi has a 12 o'clock going, but mine is still very much ahead. Oh, 1 mine hitting. 1 scan going to go off, so DT going to go die before he can pick off the SCV. So at least nice play there from JangBi, delaying that a little bit. But he's still in a slightly weaker economic position just because he's, for one thing, he's been taking up very heavily just on these 2 bases, so he definitely needs that third. And Midas been ahead in expansions the entire time. They're going to see whether they actually manages to go to the 12 o'clock position. Will those Vultures do anything? There was a chick chatting on her cell phone and drinking a Slurpee or something. Some sort of Slurpee drink. Vultures going to go there with planting mines. Just have to be very careful not to be the victims of their own mines. But I think parts of Ninjagoons are going to come in there. Got to be able to pick off the probe if nothing else. Not pulling out any more mines and observers in the air, so that mines are going to become ineffectual. But still, Midas at the very least, just milling around, trying to put some pressure. Oh god, did he? Okay, I thought he maybe got his tank stuck in. Getting his science vessel on the way already, so he's going to work on upgrades soon. Probably going to go in for some science vessel as well, because the arbiters are going to be coming out. You want those science vessels to start for some science vessel as well, because the arbiters are going to be coming out. You want those science vessels to start EMPing those. If you have science vessel out there to start EMPing arbiters just right away, it's going to really come in handy. So basically, the minute your Protoss opponent wants to put their arbiters in play with something other than just a cloaking, and they want to start using recalls or stasis, particularly, then if you have those science vessels out there, instantly EMP them early on. And of course, also the EMP does the magnificent job of taking down all Protoss shields. So it's already significantly weakens the army. Midas Mule going to go out there to the 12 o'clock position, going to continue putting on pressure. JangBi unfortunately still does not have that many troops. Doesn't have a lot of Dragoons on the ground though, so he might manage to push this back. Initial Arbiter coming in there, but there are going to be scans ready and turrets on the way. So oh man, JangBi going to lose up this base at the Tokak position. So Midas, absolutely beautiful push, just at a nice time, just came in with that push like, hey, I have the army, I have the forces, I'm gonna push. So he does, and 2 armies on the way, so he's just gonna go full on upgrade. Still don't know if there's a single forge up there for JangBi though. Gonna get his refinery now, both best mining. JangBi gonna be in a lot of trouble here. Actually, I was actually praising, oh god, JangBi's a magnificent anti-turn player. Unfortunately, he is, but unfortunately for now, he is living through a bit of a slump. Oh, a lot of mines catching his goons. No observers out there. That's what happens. Picks off the turret, but hey, Midas is gone, long gone. He's like, yeah, I did my job. He's really ahead economically now. Has 3 bases mined to JangBi's 2. He's done more damage overall, more economic damage. Seems to have pulled out there with very limited damage to his own army units. Has weapons 1 upgrades at this point. He's going to have 1 and 2, maybe before even JangBi has weapons 1 upgrades his own forces. Has final observers out there to help mill out against those mines, but still Midas doing a very good job with those vultures overall. More arbiters to come out there, and the second star get out there now for JangBi. So as soon as he gets the 3rd out, he's going to be able to support this a little bit better, but it still needs to get a larger army up there. Is going to be working on his weapons. But still, Midas playing a very solid game of StarCraft here. Starting to put down mines all over inside of his main. Going to have science vessels out there to help as well. So he's getting himself ready for a recall. There's going to be one arbiter soon enough ready for recall. But yeah, this is actually exactly what JangBi is going to want to go for. So Midas is very much ready for this. Because right now, what JangBi needs to do is some economic damage. There's going to be a recall coming in. No science vessel to speak of. It's going to be a recall. No. Yes. No. Okay, just go inside the main right now. So he's going to try to recall the main. Is there a science vessel? I haven't seen a single science vessel. There's going to be a bit of a recall inside the main. A lot of mines going to come off. Picking off a bunch of Dragoons right off the bat. More mines. Killing more vultures than anything else, unfortunately. Vultures to start off to reacting against these Dragoons, but I just don't think this recall is going to do much damage at all, really. Tanks at the far range, vultures in there are just going to cancel it out. Zealots and Dragoons still have not done a single bit of damage. Oh man, this entire recall completely melted. Beautiful play here by Midas. Midas just playing an overall heads-up game of StarCraft. I'm loving this. I mean, I feel sorry for JangBi. Denied in the MSL time and time again. Yeah, basically during the times he was Fantasy lost to OSL finals in a row. JangBi lost to MSL finals in a row. So in that manner, they were pretty much both in the same spot. You know, getting there but not quite finishing up. And unfortunately, JangBi, where he used to be definitely S-class, I don't think he's out there anymore. He's definitely has been playing after losing the Club Day MSL Finals and the Lost Time MSL Finals. I just don't think he's been at his best anymore since then, unfortunately for him. But Midas still playing very good game, just keeping himself solid, staying in good shape, adding in more factories, keeping up his army production. JangBi, meanwhile, has expanded to a 4th base. Did not notice that until just now. At the inside, well, kind of inside 9 o'clock, or just 9 o'clock. That's kind of an inside position. So there is, he's trying to keep up economically, but unfortunately, just his economic harassment did not go well at all. His recall went horribly. Unfortunately, his entire recalled force just got massacred before they could do anything else. He's still going to have an opportunity to get back into this game. I don't think he's horrifically behind, but I just think Midas has set up a pretty nice defensive perimeter all over himself. He has science vessels out there to start being his mines, turrets, blockading buildings. He's just in a very overall solid position. Has a lot out there to prevent recalls. Those science vessels and a bunch of vultures and tanks, huge number of tanks and vultures alongside our science vessel support out there to move out. So he's going to have EMPs all over the place. EMPs both for the arbiters and for the army on the ground as well. So he's definitely going to be in a good position to rip into anything that JangBi might decide to stay at him. JangBi's still going very heavy in the arbiter prediction, so it's very good for him that he picked up the 3rd. Not quite sure if he has a gas though. I think it does. But I'm not able to get a two-shot. Don't have a picture of the map right there. Oh, getting hit by a mine there, but don't have a picture of the map in front of me at the moment, unfortunately. It does happen. More mines. Oh, Zala going to sacrifice his life. Going to go in there to do some mine clearing. Oh, clears up a lot of mines. One nice Zealot going in there, cleaning up a lot of mines. Vulture's Moon ready to react to this. Unfortunately, a little bit blocked by the turrets. Science was going to come in there. One Science was going to go down to Dragoon's. Not going to manage to do anything. Another Science was in there. I'm not quite sure if it did anything. It's just waiting for the Arbiter to come in and do something. But a lot of army at the back there from Midas ready to counter this push by JangBi, which unfortunately did very little else than pick up a Science Vessel and clear up a bunch of mines. JangBi will going to expand the load of position. Pick up that double gas, so he's expanding very aggressively. Midas meanwhile picking up his inside 6 o'clock. I think that is inside 6 o'clock. Yeah. So also JangBi going to pick up the 12 o'clock. So JangBi going to be expanding very aggressively, hoping just to beat that way, just continuously expand and get a nice strong macro economy going. So we're going to see macro economy, like war economy, pretty much exactly the same thing. In fact. Yeah, there's like Hearts of Iron too. Nah, it's good stuff. Not very good at it, but hey, I try and I lose. I die. One Zealot there coming in, and we're spotting that inside 6. Oh god, there could have been a horrible bunch of mines being put down. That could have cleared completely. A lot of Zealots running in. Some of the mines killing them, some of the mines not. Vulture's just trying to kill Zealots for the some of the mines coming in, just clearing them out. More mines. Oh, Zealots sacrificing their lives to clear all the Vultures and all the mines, unfortunately. So JangBi might do a lot of damage at the inside 4, but I think Midas is going to go for a complete and utter counter push. Is going to sacrifice that inside 6 o'clock. Going to go for counter push and going to try to finish it right here. JangBi, unfortunately, is readying some storms. Midas does have some forces back home to defend, though. Has a lot of buildings blockading. Nice stasis there. Unfortunately, no MP came in there, unfortunately, for Midas. Scan's going to come off. Some storms. Are going to be some storms. Storms might completely save JangBi here. Bunch of storms on a lot of his tanks. So we're going to see whether there's going to be a comeback win here from JangBi or not. Is Midas going to manage to go in there? He has to pick off those High Templars, get some more scans. I'm going to pick off those High Templars. Force is going to come in from behind here from JangBi, so we're going to see who actually manages to take this off or not. Isn't going to be able to have any more stasis. One more stasis to come in. Another stasis is going to come in on top of the tanks. Bunch of Dragoons and Zealot milling in. There are still a lot of tanks out there from Midas. He might still manage to fight this back. There's a lot of tanks all over the place. We're going to see what he manages to do this or not. Far too many forces. Stasis, I think. Still tanks firing at those Dragoons. Desperately trying to clear up. Does clear up all of the Dragoons. And now he's just waiting. Some of the forces on stage. JangBi, unfortunately, does not have the army right now. Midas has Vultures coming in to reinforce and some more tanks as well. So he's going to continue pushing up right into JangBi's natural expansion. These could be in very bad position overall. All of his forces coming up for this position. They're just running it slowly to this funnel. Vultures running across here. Not actually going to completely ignore that inside 9 o'clock. Just continue running in here. Unfortunately, no Goliath support against this Arbiter, but still JangBi GG's. Oh man, beautiful counterattack there. Midas knew that he had to get it done then and there. JangBi was being allowed to get way too strong an economy going, so he went for that final push. Knew if he managed to pick off all the army and do enough damage to just close that contain of the natural, which is something JangBi was not able to fight back against, because that's what all of his army was. That was all of his reinforcements were coming through, so they were just running into a funnel into those tanks and just dying. So beautiful play from Midas. There was an opportunity there for JangBi to get back into this, but Midas playing very solidly throughout. And if he had played longer, could have actually gotten himself into a little bit of trouble, but reacting beautifully at the right time and pushing into JangBi's main. So beautiful play by him. So that's that. First 2 days of round of 16 done. A little late, but hey, better late than never. At least I'm doing it, right? Who else is casting MSL? No, seriously, who else? Did you guys mention that this thing? Hope you enjoyed. Hey guys, this is Wrench and bringing us our commentary. This is going to be the second set between Midas and JangBi in the round of 16 of the Hana Daetoo MSL. 2010, of course. This is arguably the matchup that I'm most looking forward to, simply because it's Midas, and he's 1-0 ahead here, so I'm really excited to see what he manages to do, whether he actually manages to take JangBi down. JangBi, of course, one of the best Protoss versus Terran players in the game, even though he's not been playing up to par lately. I feel he's still overall an extremely experienced player in this matchup, so I really look forward to what these guys bring. It's going to be on Fighting Spirit. We're going to have JangBi at the upper right-hand position as the red Protoss. We have Midas at the upper left-hand position, as I think was the blue Terran. I think it was blue. So I'm just going to wait for that little pop screen to pop up and do some countdownage. 35, 36, 37, and it was indeed blue. So yeah, really looking forward to see what the players bring here after what they did in the first set. Probe actually gonna wander out, and that's interesting. Planting a pylon way in the corner. I'm wondering whether the field covers it so that he's actually going to be able to plant down a building in the low ground after that and act as maybe a blockading building. I'm not overall too sure. I haven't actually seen that done yet. We're going to see what it is exactly that he's going for. A little bit interesting pylon placement for first building. Most definitely, yeah, definitely can put out a gateway. I'm not quite sure whether it actually creates whether the space between the gateway and the space there can actually be gotten through. I think a Zerglia might get through that. Not altogether too sure about the rest. I don't think an SC will be able to get through that. But it acts as a partial blockade. Also, just a building you have right outside your base. It's a smaller choke, and it's also gonna let you build troops a little bit closer to your reinforcement route early on. Not something you want to get taken out though. So you got to be careful overall. Refinery and barracks in the opposite range. Barracks, refinery rather. I guess on the opposite side down there from Midas. Gateway almost up now for JangBi. We're going to see whether he actually tries to go out and harass with once it goes out. He's going to put on his simulator right now. So we're going to be seeing the 7 score coming up any minute now as well. Yeah, we're going to see whether it actually produces a Zealot out. They're actually going to try to put on some pressure by going early goons. Does not look like a 10-15 gate though, so he might just go out there with a Zealot. Sending his probe in the long way, and Midas still not sending in a scout. Not at all unlike him, actually. He's very much a delayed scouter. Sometimes he just waits for his opponent's scout to come inside of his own base, and you can just tell by that, oh, okay, so it's taken him this long to come to me, so it must be in this location. And not the best kind of strategy to go for, because it won't really always help you out, but it's what Midas does. Already putting on his factory, not just now going to send an SV. I assume that's going to be the scout. Zealot also running up to the upper left-hand corner alongside a probe, so we're going to see if actually manages to do any damage with that. SV going to come out. Zealot's just going to completely ignore that, going to go up the ramp. One Marine in there, though, and he's going to be able to run between the barracks and supply depot, I think. Shiva would do that just, and with a couple of SCVs supporting that, so I think that second Marine also going to come down. I think it's going to be enough to pick off everything here. Don't think the Zealot and Probe are really going to be able to accomplish much, unless they might manage to pick off the SCV that's building up the factory, might manage to harass. Oh, SCV critically running around, probably going to go down. Oh, yet again, going right across the factory. Oh, this is just pure luck here for Midas, and absolutely nothing else but pure luck. A second Zealot coming in there, though, for JangBi, though. Did not see that in the way. 2 Zealots, one very heavily damaged, a couple of Marines. Nice micromanagement overall by Midas. He's been very lucky with this CV placement. Picks off one of the Zealots, now one single Zealot, one single Probe, and they're still alive. Third Marine going to be on the way. One Marine very heavily damaged. Wants to keep all those alive. Doing a good job of just shimming them around. Get him behind the buildings here. Now Zealot. Did he take out? I think he took out his CV. Another will get 2 sure. Gotta get another CV. I think it's 3 kills on the Zealot before it goes down. Not too sure whether all of them were kills of SVs. I think maybe he managed to kill one Marine alongside as well. But Robotics Facility got away now alongside range for JangBi. While Midas has one Vulture in there, gonna engage that. A good Dragoon not really going to be able to do anything, not going to be able to go up the rank, just going to get itself taken out before it really managed to do anything whatsoever. Midas on the opposite side of Soul Marines on top of this ramp just to defend right now. Wondering whether he's actually working, he's getting his initial tank out, and might go for mines before he does anything else, but he might also decide to go for siege just so he can plant a tank on top of that high ground inside of his main, and siege against any Dragoons that might be coming his way. So yeah, Midas definitely surprised me in the first set by beating JangBi one game. It was kind of a hectic, funky game, but he really pushed out the correct time to took JangBi a little bit off guard. So really nice to see overall. Really nice to see him playing a level, and it really would be cool. Really just would be cool. I think that's the word I want to use there. It would just be really cool to see, not to see JangBi beaten, but to see just to see Midas in the round of 8 in the tournament. I mean, it's been ages since he performed this well. Robotics support bay now gonna be up there for JangBi. Gonna be mines for Midas before siege mode, but he's gonna have enough to push back anything. Don't think he's gonna be able to go for any aggressive push, because definitely enough Dragoons to at least fight him back. Observatory coming up there as well, so it's gonna be Shuttle with Reaver to go out there and do some harassment. JangBi is fairly decent with his Reaver harassment, and no really anti-air, so Engineering Bay just not coming up. So whatever anti Reaver stuff that that Midas wants to do. He's going to have to accomplish that with the ground trip ship right now. Shadow, meanwhile, just flying around there, waiting for the Reaver to come out. Get Reaver coming up just right now, wondering whether he's actually going to have a Zealot or just actually might just get a Dragoon in there alongside to take some shots. Also now going to put down his Net Strike Ball. Midas has already been building his for quite a while, but I think this Reaver Harassment really could manage to do a lot. He's now coming off the line, and Siege Mode's still not ready, so Engineering Bay going to be on the way. We're going to see when he starts building up any turrets. I think, yeah, this is a turret hidden by that Engineering Bay. I'm not quite sure what's going to come up down because, oh man, that shuttle is on the way. Siege tank, a couple of siege tanks, another siege tank inside the main. Shuttle going to be able to get in there completely unattested. Untested? I don't know. Uncontested, I guess. Oh, shuttle. There is a turret up there, but that's going to get taken up by there's a couple of tanks coming in here. Just want to stay under that shuttle. Want to force it back home. Going to be very careful overall not to keep those tanks too close together so that the Reaver Scarab doesn't take them both out in only a few shots. Dragoon's also going to come in here to move into pressure. Actually, perfect timing here by JangBi to move it with his Dragoons because tanks and vultures are actually distracted by the Zealot and the Reaver. Now Reaver going to get one scared above, hitting one of the tanks. Tank's still going to be able to engage, but no siege on them, unfortunately. Some mines and a bunker at the front to defend for Midas, but only 3 Dragoons alongside an Observer coming in, so at the very least they're going to be able to clean up the mines. Turret going to take a couple of shots at the shuttle. Tanks finally getting a siege bonus. See, actually repairing one of the tanks. 4 Dragoons going to be able to attack that bunker. Should actually be able to arrange it, and still that Reaver going around has the capability of doing a lot of damage. Taking one on the low ground. Shuttle taking a few more shots from the turret. One tank on the low ground is going to siege up. Also a siege tank here inside the main, and overall JangBi hasn't managed to do really much damage at all with this Reaver Harassment, unfortunately for him. Just not quite finding the position to be able to do that. Is meanwhile just going to go up and pick up a third base, just fast expand right away. He knows that he's putting on the pressure. He knows it's kind of as it's not really a full contain, but a partial contain. It's not really a full contain, but a partial contain. Basically, it's not really a contain more than just pressure. Basically, he's pressuring Midas, and Midas has to stay inside of his own base. He does not have the troops to go around and mill him around. He has to keep his siege tanks out of his base to, for one thing, push those Dragoons back, and to make sure that the Reaver can safely land inside of his base. He's going to be putting up turrets and defensive structures. Might even put up some mines inside of his base just to make sure that those Reavers don't become too effective, don't manage to do too much damage. Meanwhile, JangBi now just going to push back with this. He knows he's overall in a decent position. He just has to catch up economically, picking up the third. Almost losing Observer inside the main, but still keeping alive for a while. Second factory going to be on the way, so Midas is going to be allowed to continue production of tanks. Just slowly getting his economy up. He had his natural expansion quite a bit sooner than JangBi did, but JangBi is going to counteract that by picking up a much sooner third. And don't think Midas is going to want to pick up a third quite yet. I think he's going to want to just play safe on those 2 bases, just get his macro going, has that second factory up, might actually put up his third and fourth right here to follow that up right away. Yeah. We're going to see what actually switches into a slightly more vulture heavy build. We're just going to stick heavily to tanks. Academy on the way, so we're finally going to have some compensations going, but is at the moment very heavy on the tanks, mostly just tanks to defend. A couple of Reavers for JangBi along that side that shuttle across the bridge at the front. He's also pyloned walled off that base at the 3 o'clock position. That's going to be very safe from any sort of vulture harass. Very smart for Tomb. But just you can also add in a cannon behind those pylons, and that's basically going to make any sort of vulture harass completely invulnerable. And there's a girl that's really smiling, and pink rainbow. I mean, pink hair bow thing in her hair, and I don't know. I am not an expert in female beautifying products. As you know, I might sound feminine, but like, I don't, right? Please tell me I don't. Whatever. Anyway, enough jokes. So yeah, instead of a cannon, he's just going to have a Dragoon there at the front. These vultures are going to try to get a couple of shots, going to get a couple of mines in. So yeah, Dragoons comes in right close to those pylons right now. That Dragoon's going to die. But a bunch of gateways, a bunch of gateways being added in alongside Citadel Dune by JangBi to up his gateway count to 6. Got my tongues all lippery. This is what happens after I go out and have a beer between games. Strong, nice, strong black beer. Guinness for the win. Yeah. I don't know, is my life sad that I just, I feel like a beer, so I go to the pub and have a beer? Does that make me a sad person? Would I do that alone? Oh, God. I'm lonely. No, I'm not. Anyway, let's see. 5 tanks and several vultures out there with speed and mines out there, so right now, just what Midas needs to do, just work on his macro, work on his tech maybe, just get some upgrades for his tanks on the ground. Actually just going to push out across the middle, siege him up, try to get some shots across the Dragoons. Quite a few Dragoons out there, not really enough auxiliary forces out there for Midas. I feel he's going to need more Vultures, and he's going to need some Goliaths. He's going to be forced to plant down turrets. Meanwhile, it just has a nice line of tanks there, but he's going to need to plant some turrets down there alongside them just to make those shuttles less effective. He's finally getting his Vulture cannon up, but he really wants to have a couple of Goliaths in there. Goliaths are just going to become such a huge factor. It would make the push faster, and he's also going to expand at the 9 o'clock position. But yeah, if Midas just get a couple of Scarabs go off, ooh, pick it off. Ooh, 4 Vultures going down just with a couple of Scarabs in there. So nice little move here, move for him there. Still has a sizable number of Vultures, but he has to be very careful with all his forces right now because his Reavers could really do a heavy amount of damage. He's going to plant some mines around the place, trying to make sure that he can block off. God, I keep doing that tongue thing all the time. Trying to block off. I'm never drinking booze again, even if it's one lousy beer. But Dragoon's actually going to come in with Zealots Kiro leading the charge. Going to come in there very close. No blockade for those tanks. Zealots just running in right across, getting a nice round of those tanks, doing a hell of a lot of damage. Reavers coming down, get him a nice Scarabs off, lose the no lives, but sacrificing themselves for ire to pick off the entire ground army that Midas had. Oh, dear God. Going to lose some of his Dragoons to mines. JangBi is losing another Dragoon to mine. But nothing compared to the damage that was done there to Midas, and still a bunch of Zealots out there. JangBi just now getting his second gas. Wow. Talk about delayed second assimilator. But anyway, just now going to push in now close to this bridge. Has enough forces. SCVs and Vultures desperately trying to blockade the tanks. One single siege tank out there, desperately trying to be kept alive. That's going to get sniped down. Zealots and Dragoons engaging. SCVs at this point. 2 more tanks that are at the back, desperately trying to get behind the bunkers so they can possibly siege up and do some fighting. But Zealots coming in so close. Bunch of SCVs being picked off. Mines picking off some of the Zealots. Thankfully, siege tank going to be able to siege up. Unfortunately, no SCV. Oh, instantly goes down. What he needs right now is a siege tank on that ridge. A bunch of Dragoons and mortar officials coming in here for JangBi. SCVs trying to desperately hold them off, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that. JangBi putting a huge amount of pressure. More Vultures desperately trying to come in, trying to get us surrounded. There plant some mines around here, trying to do something, but even more Dragoons coming in here for JangBi. He has a huge Dragoon amount. Finally, some siege tanks on that ridge for Midas. Oh, God, absolute beautiful attack there for JangBi, pushing in at just the right time. So beautiful play, just like getting his Stargate up, so he's going to slowly tech Temple Archives alongside, so he's slowly going to tech the Arbiters. JangBi definitely one of the Eternal players that does not utilize the quick Arbiter strategy. He prefers to get a large ground army first, then when he gets decent economy going, then he techs to Arbiters. Already on the way to his 4th base at that 4 o'clock position, so he's definitely going to work on his tech. And work on his army. Work on his army count. He definitely prefers an army count for an arbiter to support. You know, a large army count for an arbiter to support. But that's a beautiful attack there for him, pushing Midas back all the way to his natural expansion and denying him the 3rd that he so desperately wanted. But he's gonna have to hold off without a 3rd base for quite a while. Midas, I think, with this. Might actually put down some defenses, some siege tank, but just the problem is that he doesn't have the forces to spare right now to put up a defensive perimeter at that 9 o'clock position. Actually floating off his command center. Might be thinking of switching over and actually picking up the 12 o'clock instead. Some Zealots actually go in there. One single Zealot leading the charge, just picking off all the mines. Gonna try to go up their 12 o'clock's position, spotting there's nothing there. Vultures meanwhile now on the low ground waiting for something to happen, but I don't think much will. Vulture is running down to this 4 o'clock position. He is going to get this, but 2 cannons morphing in, or even more. I think 1, 2, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, 4. Is it all cannons? Okay, 4 cannons morphing in. So, yeah, nice defense there overall by JangBi. So, just no chance whatsoever for those Vultures to do any sort of damage at the 4 o'clock position. The Vulture is going to manage to pick off at least a couple of probes, but, okay, 1 probe. Proof engine, wrong day. Every day. Midas, meanwhile, desperately going to try to pick up the 12 o'clock position. Going to run up with Vultures and siege tanks, siege up on the low ground, on the ridge, all over the place. Meanwhile, that shuttle going to be dropping Zealots. SCVs going to come off the line. Oh, God, everything's going down. All the tanks not managed to do much of anything. JangBi winning this. Oh, God. No Arbiters to speak of for JangBi, and he's still absolutely crushing this. GG from Midas. Hopeless situation for me to be in, so JangBi takes that handily, and Midas needs to take a sip of Pocari Sweat, kind of gather himself and keep at it. So we're going to see what he brings us, what both these guys brings us in the third set. Will this be a turnaround here for JangBi? He seems fairly calm, very collected, so we're going to see what happens. Did you guys wrenching out this evening? Hope you enjoyed. See you in the third set. Hey guys, this is Renshin here, bringing you all StarCraft commentary. This is going to be the third set between Midas and JangBi in the Hana Daetoo MSL round of 16. Oh my god! This is going to be a match point. Oh god, this is the last one in round of 16! I should be happy, but tomorrow I have round of 8 to start, so... Oh god. So, what? Poison myself, hanging... heights, down the road rather than across the street. Which one should I go for? Guns are unavailable in Iceland. Well, at least there's a total pain in the ass to get one. Pick your poison, I guess. Anyway, we're going to have Midas the upper right-hand position at the 1 o'clock as the white Terran player. We're going to have... oh, God, itchy nose. Going to have JangBi at the bottom right position as the purple Protoss, and he's sending out a significantly early probe. So, wondering whether JangBi's actually thinking of putting out some sort of cheese. Dear lordy, JangBi, you cheeser. You cheesy little dude. This actually might just be a gas steal rather than anything else. I go for the same thing as 3-1-4. Very easy to steal on this map. Actually, something that Protoss players apparently really like the thought of doing. A gas steal. Well, it's not like pure... okay, is he actually... okay, it's not like a pure cheese, I guess, but it is a sort of a aggressive, cheesy type strategy, I suppose. Just gonna run that thing right into... unless he decides to, like, bank to the left. Right. Oh, is he... yes! Oh, God. Is he... oh, okay, no, is he gonna go for the gas tail? I thought he was maybe gonna bank for the left. He actually... yeah, gonna get the gas tail very easily here. But he would have actually been able to bank to the left, maybe, and just plant a pylon on a gateway right inside of Midas's base. That would have been hilarious. That's actually the perfect thing to do against Midas, because Midas scouts late. So by the time he scouts, he's like, oh crap, there are zealots inside of my base. Why? So he'll be in huge trouble by that point. Barracks gonna come up. Gonna take an age to get some gas going though. So he's gonna have to deal with what he has. He is gonna, of course, be putting down an actual expansion much sooner because of this, because you're still going to have that huge amount of minerals coming in despite all of that. And JangBi probably going to... well, there could be an opportunity for JangBi to react to this by just going uber aggressive, just adding in 2 gateways, just going mass dragoons very early off 2 gateways, kind of a sort of a 10-15 gate thing, and just pushing in and doing that. And it could work out because your opponent's going to find himself having very little defenses. What he would have to do is put down a bunker and get as many Marines in that as he possibly can. That will be his main line of defense. And Porb actually finding SCV here, almost getting that SCV, but actually no, more than enough health, and actually going to be pushed back then by Marine at this point. 1 gateway into Expo on the opposite side for JangBi. So when you think about it economically, the players are going to end up decently even. But there's the problem that, well, the Protoss is going to have his entire build completely shot off. So whatever build you might have thought to go for, that's going to get delayed significantly. He's just now, I think, his CV coming offline. Either to scout, no, actually putting down the command center rather than to scout. Midas doesn't scout. He doesn't feel a need to scout. He'll scout you when he's damn well ready. That's when he'll scout you. But yeah, so this actually starts off. Looks like we're gonna be in for a macro game here because JangBi expanding very quickly, not getting his gas yet, and Midas also expanding very quickly, just now gonna be able to start getting his gas. Meanwhile, just protecting back at home with Marines and nothing else. So yeah, gonna be a very interesting game here. Refinery already up. Not really much mining going on from that refinery. Interestingly enough, doesn't really need to. It just needs to adapt. And doesn't need a factory this second. He just probably doesn't have a mineral count at the moment either. Just going to focus on that. Get the bunker at the front. It's going to help him make sure the Dragoons don't come in and bust him up. So he's going to be able to defend a couple of Zealots actually milling around. They might actually try to bypass that. I don't think they're going to be able to really bypass. Might actually just run right past that bunker, taking a huge amount of shots and get inside the main. But the Marines are still going to be able to exit the bunker, just follow him, shoot him, and Zealots are not really going to be able to do much against that. Second gateway, did I see a cybernetics core? I don't think I've seen a cybernetics core yet. I think I saw one, but I'm altogether not too sure, actually. Second game we already know up for JangBi. Still pushing out with a bunch of Zealots. 3 at this point is going to maybe trying to put on some pressure. We're going to see. So he's 3 Zealots might actually manage to do something. I'm not quite sure. They probably won't be able to pick off the bunker, especially if the Z comes to line. But they'll still be able to run by and actually go in and do some damage to them. Okay, there is a 7 square up. CV is going to come in off the line and block. 1 Zealot dies instantly. And they're just engaging. A Marine's going to come off the line from come outside of the bunker, just going to follow those Zealots up. And they're going to be able to accomplish enough just to make sure that they don't kill the SCV. SCV actually glitches there and dies just after he puts down a factory. So nice timing there. 1 Zealot only left now for JangBi. So not a bad start for Midas overall, despite the bad start for Midas losing his refinery and all that. Well, not losing it, but not letting it come up. Same thing. Tomato, tomato. Oh, poor Jay. Oh, no, that sucks. That is horrific when that happens. When you click, basically when you have your probes and you click the assimilator before the assimilator finishes warping in, that's what happens. You have probes outside your assimilator not doing anything. And actually, as a Zealot now inside the Natural Expo managed to pick off 2 or 3 SCVs before it died. Took a while to pick that off. Even now, Dragoon's not going to be coming out. So JangBi going to continue putting on the pressure. Going to go for robotics facility. Might go for Reavers. The same thing as it did the last time. Zealot's going to finally die on these Marines. Marines, meanwhile, now just has to shimmy and to hurry up to that Natural Expo to get inside that bunker. But I don't really think JangBi's actually putting down any sort of pressure. I actually think he's keeping his Dragoons inside of his base. Actually has 1 milling around the middle. Somehow missed that on the map, but keeping most of his Dragoons inside of his base, and he wants to do that because there are Vultures now on the way. Also getting his range up, and actually milling out a probe. Wondering if that's going to go to the 6 o'clock position and actually expand. I think JangBi is actually going to use a similar strategy that he did in the second set, where he expanded very quickly because he knows he needs to compete with a Protoss player, and really wants to make sure that he can keep up, continue getting gas. I think he's probe actually running. Okay, no, I thought he was maybe going to 6 o'clock. Actually running across the southern location, not really doing much of anything, and I'm not really too sure what that probe's thinking of. What are you thinking about? Observatory and Citadel Dune coming up now. And that thinking about thing, that's a pun. It's, German Coast Guard pun. People are radioing in saying, we are sinking, and the German Coast Guard goes, What are you thinking about? No, we are sinking, you dumbwits. Yes, I understand. What are you thinking about? And then the people die. So, bleak. Let's see. Oh, Dragoon gonna go out there. Gonna be getting curious and getting a mine in its face. And finding out the curiosity is bad because it kills the cat. And if it kills cats, it can't be healthy for Dragoons either. The Temple Archives on the way, so gonna be a significant... Oh, scan at the perfect location from Midas. Going to get all the information he needs. Knows that's going to be much quicker arbiters this time around. Should get himself readying for this. Just going to continue getting his tech up. Is getting an armory up right now. Readying for this. Just going to continue getting his tech up. Is getting an armory up right now. Starport and evolution chip. Evolution chip. We're talking about eBay on the way as well. Engineering bay on the way. 3rd factory should be probably seeing a 4th one soon alongside. But yeah, he's going to want to get some arbiters out there and going to want to tech to start to science facility as soon as he can, just to get those science vessels out there. EMPs are going to be extremely important against those arbiters once they come into play. You want to be able to get those science vessels out there, because if you have a science vessel with an MVP ready the minute that the Protoss player has an arbiter with spells ready, did I call science vessel with EMP? Yeah, MVP. Did I say with MVP? Yeah. God, let me rephrase that whole thought. If a tournament player has a science vessel with EMP ready for arbiters with spells, you're going to be able to completely counteract that arbiter. Is going to be able to make them completely useless. So makes science vessels extremely important. Actually, gonna go for start. Gonna go for wraiths here to start things off. I think this is more of an anti-shuttle strategy more than anything else. Gonna try to catch the shuttle with a wraith, and of course, it's going to be pretty bad for the shuttle once the Wraith gets out there. Tank going to go down there to the middle only, pick off that probe. They were acting as a scout, like, no, probe, go away, you're annoying. Initial Wraith out there now just to go out there and spot in my own words, commentate StarCraft in my own words. CV gonna put down the command center. That's gonna get denied by the Reaver in here, but we are probably just stops doing that. But Wraith, meanwhile, right on it, like Wilco Roger and all that. And Top Gun, I love Top Gun. It's my favorite movie. gonna cancel the command center. Siege Tank's gonna come in here, and Wraith, I don't know why it stopped. It probably just waiting for the shuttle to put down the Reaver. Go get oh, Dragoon out there. Okay, so never mind. Wraith's actually gonna back off at just the right time. Being careful, Midas being careful. Also, playing economically, playing smart. I like this. He's already putting down the third. Ready himself to put down the third. Actually gonna push out Marines, tanks. Wraith there, Vulture meanwhile now at the 9 o'clock position, put down mines to try to prevent that mineral only being put up. And Midas definitely trying to play a nice economic game. Gonna go out there for a push, gonna try to do some economic damage. Has 4 factories up there. Has to just be very careful to not get let those Reavers do a heavy amount of damage. He has that Wraith in among his forces. That's basically going to make that shuttle ineffective, but he's actually going to push it all the way to the high ground. Now he just has to scan the natural expo and start harassing it. Oh, never mind scanning. As that Wraith. What am I thinking about? Also a big important part of this entire strategy. Having that Wraith act as spotters for those tanks. They're going to start sieging that natural expo. There's a lot of damage going to be done there. Even Vultures managed to penetrate at that point. And I think, did JangBi actually mill out some Dragoons? Yeah, they're actually on the high ground, actually going to try to get in behind those. No Arbors as of yet, but that Natural Expo not mining at all. Vultures in there as well, picking off a lot. Dropship coming in as well, so you might actually get some dropship action done at the main as well. Some Vultures trying to plant in some mines at the back. Dragoon's going to come in on the mine of the back. No forces blocking in. Reaver and Zealot's going to come in right amongst those tanks. Oh dear God, this is the nightmare of the second set all over again, isn't it? Gonna get some Vultures inside the main, gonna pick up some probes, plant down some mines. Reaver right amongst those tanks. All the tanks go down. Wraith gonna go down as well. Dropship goes down as well. Arbiter actually now Arbiter fighting back those Vultures. So actually they get, oh wow, look at all that. Whoa, look at all them probes. Wow, the saturation is non-existent. Almost took out the Nexus. Oh, Midas, you poor. Oh, I feel so sorry for you, dude. I feel so sorry for you. JangBi counteracted that at right the perfect time, but he should actually, I think Midas should be able to actually replenish that army pretty quickly. Actually did a lot of damage done to those Zealots and Dragoons by mines. Gotta be, it's a couple of tanks here blockading buildings. Another EB being put down alongside supply depot. Desperately trying to get some blockading buildings in here. Gonna have some tanks here at the back. No signs of Salazzo yet. Is gonna have enough scans though. Compensation come up. Just, oh man, just go for the drop inside a natural. Drop that place. 4 Vultures will be able to pick off that Nexus. Come on, go, kill. Faster, pussycat. Kill. I haven't seen that movie. Vulture's gonna go inside the 9 o'clock position, pick up even more probes. Gotta say, Midas playing an absolute beautiful game of harassment, running in that probe from the back. He's gonna Vulture from the back. I mean, he's gonna be able to get, no, not quite managing to get another one. I feel like Rise for some reason right now, going up and down like, no, it just reminds me of Rise. Rise is awesome, and I fully support his retirement from StarCraft Brood War and move to StarCraft 2. It's not something I would do, but he, to each his own. Rise is awesome. Go to SC2GG Rise at YouTube. Check him out. If those of you don't actually know who he is, but he's a lot of fun. So, see, more Arbor is going to be on the way now for JangBi. He needs to get his army up because he won that battle. He prevented his natural expo from coming up. But overall, Midas has done a hell of a lot of economic damage. Not much saturation at any base yet. So it's going to take a while for JangBi to get that critical point. But just all that economic harassment just going to allow Midas to stay back in the game, despite the fact that he lost a large amount of tanks and his forces out there. Finally has a sciences lot there. Is going to be able to get some EMPs going. Mining up and adding in turrets. A little bit of a blank space in there, so they might want to add some more turrets and mines in there just to make sure the recalls do not stay very effective either. Arbiter actually milling out now to the mineral-only position. I'm wondering if he's actually going to try to recall that. Not altogether too sure. Going to run in here. He's going to be able to get a recall off. Scan going off. Recall coming off. Not a very big recall. Just a few Dragoons and some Zealots. But he's actually going to go for dual prone attack here. Some tanks. Oh, God. Nice mine drag right into those tanks. Also, Dragoon's going to be attacking his mineral. Midas needs to fight this back. He needs to make sure he does not lose that command center. He needs to keep his economics stronger than JangBi's. You want to stay in this game. If that command center goes down, finally starting to repair it. Vulture's coming in close. Tank's going to siege, so at the very least, Midas going to be able to prevent that base from coming up. Just has to repair. And JangBi more going to, thinking of expand the upper left. And just as I say that, Midas was way ahead of me. Look at this guy. Just love how he keeps those Vultures around. I love a player who does that. BaBy's a player who does that. And of course, Midas and BaBy are on the same team, so definitely think it's part of the whole thing. Very Vulture liking players. I really like that. Just Vultures are very cheap. They're easy to get. easily utilized, basically. You know, just go out there, use them, plant a few mines around, scout the place, pick off a probe if you can. Just do that. Actually going to lose the vultures to nothing now, but still is doing something out there. Observer eternally inside of Midas's base for JangBi here, but JangBi's still only on 3 bases to Midas's 3. Still some mines at that upper left-hand position. Going to make sure that no base comes up as of yet. Scan going to come off as vultures come in here. I don't think I should be able to do anything here. Far too many Dragoons. And if Nexus is actually going to be able to come down despite that one single mine that's left there. Might still do some damage if accidents happen. But JangBi going to be able to pick up that upper left-hand position for himself. Finally going to get his 4th base up. Midas still staying on 3. And I think he's going to be able to safely stay on these for a little while longer. We'll want to pick up that... I think he's actually will want to pick up the 12 o'clock before, rather than go and stretch himself out to the lower right-hand position. I've seen Terran players do that. Just build a command center inside their base and float it upwards, putting up a nice defensive position at that 12 o'clock position. So we're going to see whether he decides to go for that or not. Has a decent defensive posture at that 3 o'clock minute only. Would want some more mines at the front, really, but he's planning on mines across the field. Make sure he has the scout on. Still has done an absolutely beautiful job of economic harassment. Might want to send... Oh, it's mines! Oh, picking off some more Dragoons, so... every little bit of those mines helping. Actually, an eBay planning itself down the 12 o'clock position. I think JangBi's actually thinking of taking that up for himself, putting on a pylon here, but I think Midas is having none of that, moving up with forces right now. Should have his sciences alongside as well. Going to lose that eBay at that 12 o'clock position, but really wants to make sure JangBi does not continue expanding. He's going to be on. He's going to get his 4th base up soon, and Midas needs to be able to pick up his 4th base. Yes. I roll my R's. No, I don't. 2-1 upgrade so far. He has been upgraded for 2 armies for quite a while. Arbiter going to get right inside the main. Huge recall here. A lot of Dragoons. SV is going to just run away for their lives. A lot of mines, but they're nowhere close to the damn Dragoons. So they're going to be... Oh, nice EMP going off, though. But armies go down, and tanks come in from the back. Science vessels... trying to put down with this defensive metric, just another EMP coming off. But yeah, just we're trying to repair the command center as well, because there's still mining going on inside the base. So you want to definitely save the command center, keep that alive if possible. But I think JangBi actually should be able to take this down. Science is the only thing here ready for the command center going to go down. So Dragoon's going to take a while to pick those off, actually, with the Arbiter support. But still, nice recall there from JangBi at the right time. Is going to lose all these Dragoons soon enough. But they're always delaying Midas from going out for an aggressive action. Don't think he's actually picking up the 12 o'clock base for himself, just actually blockading it in. Just put down a pylon, not quite sure whether to put anything else down. Midas going to pick up the lower right-hand position. I think JangBi knows what's happening. I think he's running straight toward there. And Midas is actually not have anything in that position, though. So if JangBi decides to go for the lower right-hand position, he's going to find himself in a bad position. Actually, just going to engage here. Tank's going to siege up. Vultures at the front. Scans coming off. Are there going to be enough? EMP going to go off. Oh, little... Too late. EMP goes off the order, but a stasis right on top of the science house of those tanks. Absolutely beautiful stasis. Tank's going to go down. There was a vulture right there glitching like crazy. But that's not a factor right now. Mining here at the lower end of position, and Midas going to lose some here. Tank's going to siege up, so at the very least he's going to be able to force those forces back away from the mineral only. But he desperately needs to go out there and save that lower right. As if he's coming off the line, being killed at all over the place. Very unfortunate for him that he had stasis came in just a little bit too late. JangBi already cannoned up like crazy. That Dokoka position. 4th cannon come up. He's also gonna put up a nexus there. But meanwhile, Midas losing the command center at the lower end of a position. Not gonna go in and save that. Has to wait for his stasis to wear off and pick off all the forces there. So he's gonna need to retake that lower right hand base. Pronto, go out there, retake it. Still very much in the game. Midas still might actually decide to go for something a little bit more crazy, like what he did in the first set. He just out of nowhere went, you know what? I don't care what my position is. Just went in for a push and he won. It was absolutely insane. He needs to do some more of that vulture play. He needs to try to sneak some vultures in at the upper left hand. 12 o'clock is fool's errand for vultures, but the upper left-hand position still very much open, still a lot of space to deal with. Planning down a humongous minefield across the middle. Actually going to go push into the Natural Expo again. Still should, we'll have a lot of its shields back, but should still be heavily damaged overall. Gonna just vultures running right up that ramp. You know what? I don't care what you gonna do. Mines. Ooh, look at all them minefields. Picking up a lot of stuff. Picking up a lot of those zealots. Yeah, just they're desperately running into. They're desperately trying to clear up a little bit. A lot of forces actually went down there, but JangBi apparently going to go for a counterattack. We're going to see what Midas managed to do here. Oh, nice stasis. Nice blockading and making sure no more of the forces managed to come up. So Midas is going to have to be able to do some damage with what he has, but I think he's actually going to be able to go, already picked off the net tracks, but actually might be able to go towards that minion only if JangBi's actually do some damage there. Now Midas really, all he has to do right now, the critical factor and fight this back. Is it going to be able to do pick Mine Track? No! Mine stop up to the tank! Another Mine going to go off, actually pick up the second tank. Oh god, that's absolutely insane. Oh dear lordy. Midas meanwhile has picked off two Nexuses, yes, something like that. Picked off 2 Nexus. I think somebody explained that to me, that it's actually just Nexus. Just Nexus no matter what. Anyway, another Stasis going off in the Science Vessel. One more Science Vessel still in there. Not quite sure if it has an VNP in it. But Midas actually going to push out down all the way. Still think he's blockaded. Still think most of his troop is blockaded from going up that ramp because of a stasis, but he's now in the production line of JangBi, so he's actually putting on run pressure, still has a lot of tanks in there, and gonna actually manage to fight back and defend his mineral. He's still on 3 bases. His main is not mining at this point. Actually, just sitting these forces here. I'm not quite sure why Midas not utilizing them. He's actually doing a lot of damage with just the forces he has already inside of JangBi's base. JangBi has kind of a skeleton crew out across the map right now. He's not really managed to do anything whatsoever with it. Midas not going to pick up any bases though, but he still needs to go out there and do some damage. Going to go base hunting. Actually, just going to contain JangBi inside here with tanks, vultures, and science vessels, and actually just roam up to the upper left hand with his tanks. So Midas definitely still might be able to take his EMP. Going to go on both those arbiters. No stasis whatsoever for JangBi. Meanwhile, now inside the mineral, only going to be able to stasis 2 tanks, so still might be able to accomplish something there, but he is meanwhile going to lose the upper left hand. Those cannons will go off momentarily. They might still do some damage, but they will go down, and that Nexus will go down. We're going to see what the Midas is going to be able to, after that, just mill all the way to the 12 o'clock. But Midas looking like he's in a slightly better position. Actually going to try to break, JangBi going to try to break out of his base with Zealots first, trying to get as many mines as he can, getting close to the tanks. Another EMP going off. I think JangBi actually will be able to break out this time, but meanwhile, he's lost a 3rd base. Only mining at the 12 o'clock right now. Midas not really very good economically either. Still think he's mining at the minute only, though. I don't think JangBi actually took that down, but he really needs to pick up a new base for himself. Still has a couple of stasis tanks and then a bunch of mines, a bunch of his CVs. Middle arm not doing anything, so actually going to start sieging up the 12 o'clock position, scanning up those cannons. Those cannons going to go up. Cans. That's or is that pretty? Oh, losing a lot of forces there to mines again. Cans. I think Americans, that's what they called it, film festival. GG from JangBi. Oh, I was actually starting to talk about the Cannes Film Festival, but Midas taking out JangBi around a 16. Beautiful game. Just as I said, Midas gonna. Oh yeah. Oh nice. Is he gonna go respect? Is he gonna go respect? Or okay, I thought he was gonna like go and shake hands or something, but apparently his locker room is not behind, but like way over here. So never mind. But yeah, I was exactly said that maybe he'll just go for a massive push just right here, like he did in the first set. He did that, and just he had enough forces to do anything with that, despite delays, despite JangBi holding him back beautifully. Still Midas managed to bring himself the win there, so absolutely beautiful play for him. Really stoked to see him in the round of 8. Wow, absolutely stoked. Look forward to see what he plays there, and whether he's going to bring us any more awesome craziness. Yeah, actually, yeah, right away Q&A. Really wishing these times I could speak Korean, but I'm guessing I'll be able to like read about that online somewhere. So yeah, so GG guys. Grats to Midas. Absolutely beautiful counter there. Picked off 3 bases. Just the entire economy of JangBi is in shambles and still managed to somehow fight back despite JangBi doing a decent job of breaking out. So, oh god, round of 16 is done. Moving on to round of 8 tomorrow. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. I need another beer. GG guys.